Hello everyone, how you doing? And welcome back to Skye and Evan in the morning. And today, Evan, you have recommended a 90s cult classic called The Sandslot. And
This is the Sandlot, yeah.
Sandlot. My brain keeps saying the Sandslot. I don't know why. I searched, I was
Oh
like,
God.
wait, I can't find it anywhere when I searched Sandslot. And I was like, I checked my IMDb history. I was like, oh, Sandlot. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Um,
I feel you.
yeah. So anyway, The Sandlot is a 90s uh family movie about baseball, and it was fun. I had fun.
Yeah, I mentioned it to you like that. I'm like, this could be the still. It's I grew up with this movie. I watched it all the time when I was a kid. I played baseball when I was a kid, and it just scratches a particular itch of like the American kid, like growing up, like that
Hmm.
I is just inspiring because I that's what I'd say about this movie. This might be my favorite movie about being a kid because everyone loves Stand By Me, but I'm like, there's something pure about just what the kids get up to of just like, going to the pool, 4th of July, like rival team, like the fair, it's or like carnival. And it just I love that sense of just neighborhood adventure that this movie brings, where it's just kind of a bunch of kids just hanging out playing baseball, and that's what the whole movie's driven around.
Yeah, it is. I like the way it portrayed childhood. It was really fun because the movie like has this heightened sense of reality of like how you
Oh yeah, yeah.
experience things as a kid, which I love. Like the beast is like
The
this
Beast.
huge fucking monster, and then um when Benny sees it, it's just
Benny.
like, oh, it's a regular dog. There's like there's a lot of things like that that I like when they're trying to build all the contraptions to get the ball and everything.
Yeah,
And they're just like
they get
fucking
so elaborate.
exploding and going into the air. It's like, oh my god. And then you're just like, oh yeah, no. Obviously, this is just like how a kid experiences things like that, which I thought was really, really cool. I like that idea.
Yeah, I love that too. It's so interesting to just see that. Like you just have to imagine it's like it's them their imaginations getting the better of them because
Yeah.
exactly like all the vacuum cleaners like explode into a
Yeah.
dust cloud. It's like definitely heightened reality to a
Yeah.
degree in this movie.
Which I like.
So
I like when I've this is like a common theme of things that I've mentioned on the this podcast, but I like when the things do stuff without like regard for reality, just by like, you know what, let's
yeah.
just fucking do it. Like we don't need to appeal to reality in a movie about like childhood like that, just do it and show how a kid experiences it, because that's a lot more fun. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, what? So, tell me a little bit about what you thought,
Yeah.
characters or anything like anything stand out. I'm like curious because I
um
watched this all the time when I was a kid, but this is your first time,
yeah,
so the nostalgia
Benny
goggles.
is for sure the best character, like by far.
Yeah,
And I thought his
it's
name
kind of
was
about him.
I thought his name was so fucking funny because it's Benjamin Franklin Rodriguez, and I was just like, the fucking whitest name ever, the Rodriguez.
Yeah,
And
that's got to be on purpose. Yeah,
oh
like
yeah,
Benjamin Franklin, like
there.
they totally like want an American.
Yeah. Well, that's what's funny because in Community, Chang's name is actually Benjamin Franklin Chang. So it reminded me of that. I was like,
Oh,
oh, so it's funny. Um, but yeah, I thought he was the best character. He's the most interesting. I like just like the general vibe of him being like inclusive, just being like, let's just fucking play, let's have fun, and not care about like, oh, he can do it and everything. Like you can teach, you can get better, but we're doing this to have fun and not to, like
well,
try
yeah.
to just like do it professionally. Let's just have fun.
What's so interesting that like Scotty like describes like seeing the game as like an endless dream game, and that they don't
Mm-hmm.
keep score, they don't like pick sides, and it's like you can tell that like the whole general idea of like the Sandlot and playing baseball, it must have been his brainchild. He must have been the one who just decided to get his friends together and play,
Yeah.
and they take it more seriously, and they're more bullies to Scotty at the beginning, but he's the one who's just wants him to play, wants him to have fun, like you said. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and he would fit the archetype of of jock bully so well, the way he looks and dresses and everything, and his attitude being older, obviously. But no, he's the nice guy. So I like that.
Yeah. Really good performance from that guy too. I didn't know this till I looked him up yesterday. He was in the sequels to the Mighty Ducks. I never watched those. I only watched the first one, but I find that funny because they do feel like kind of spiritual successors. It's like, hockey instead of baseball, but like they
Mm-hmm.
got a similar vibe. There's a couple of like sports movies with kids. Even the Karate Kid is like that a little bit.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was. I had a few problems with the movie.
Such as
So for one, and I don't know if I'm just the friend that's too woke or something, but the way they treat that woman, who's
Wendy Peppercorn.
yeah, I
Oh
thought that
god,
was
yeah.
so weird, so weird.
It's not aged well. It has not aged well, and
Yeah,
very, very weird. I will say, like, it does touch on that sense of like, puberty and like your body is experiencing shit. It's clearly going for that, but the approach, like they definitely like kind of itemize her, which sucks,
yeah.
and
That
it's
well, the thing is, I was like, okay, at the very least, they made her be mad at him, and not, it's like,
yeah, she tosses him out, and it's
yeah,
like
but then at
they
the end,
don't.
it's like, oh yeah, they're married, they have 9 kids. Like, okay,
Well,
sure.
yeah, exactly. They're like saying it's low, like and cool, but it's like, dude, fuck off. Like that's like sexual assault,
Yeah.
basically. It's like, and as well as that, I actually looked up the actress. Apparently, she was 19 when she filmed this. That's what I gathered, and it's funny. She was actually in Planet Terror. I didn't realize that till I looked her up, but this helped to springboard her career a little
Mm.
bit. But I got like I feel like the implication is it's supposed to be like maybe like a 4 or 5 year age difference between them or something like that. And it's like that's not unheard of. Like, growing up, they say that, like grew up and married her. So it's like, who knows? But like it's weird. It's weird and it's not aged well.
Yeah,
I
I
won't,
was not a fan of that.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Yeah. That was like one of the things that were just like bugging me. I was like, okay, this movie, and there are a few things like the way they talk about women is in this movie so fucking like classic sexist shit. And it was like bugging me. It was like, oh, she was a grown girl, but she knew who Babe Ruth was. I was like, okay, man. Like,
Yeah. There is that sense of like, I mean they even say that like because there's 8 of us and he makes 9. He's like, yeah, well, so my sister, but I didn't bring
yeah,
her.
I
And
was
it's
like,
like
of course, yeah.
and of course, like you play ball like a girl.
Play
I
ball like a
see
girl. That moment, I was like, I just rolled my eyes. I was like, okay.
this they like view it as the slur of all slurs. It's
Yeah.
yeah. It's that boys like, like no girls allowed club type of
Yeah.
thing. It's just, we live in different times, but
Yeah, it's
yeah.
just yeah, things like that. They've not aged well, and it bugs me, but I completely understand product of its time. But it bugged me that
Yeah.
those type of isms of just like the sexism in it. But
Well, it's funny they get a girl on the team in the second I mentioned the second movie. It's awful, by the way. It's basically just a remake and it's just so inferior, but like there's a girl on the team and they make a point of that of like being anti like no girls and all that. So I for what that movie's worth.
I guess it fixed the sexism in the first one. I'm sure it did it perfectly too. Uh,
um But beyond that, because like I said, I figured that would be
yeah.
annoying and it definitely hasn't aged well. But
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was fine. Like I liked the general idea. I think it is really I think it's a good portrayal of childhood, and I thought it had like a good heart cuz like and that's like I guess a criticism of it as well. Is that I've seen this movie, I think, in the sense of like this is not an original story. It's like a very
no,
classic
no.
like family movie. And it's just
Yeah,
like,
I would
oh, it's a family
say,
movie about baseball, but like the movie parts of it are all like the same as stuff I've seen before. It's just
well,
that I think maybe for its time it had like more heart and soul than stuff that came later did. so it felt more earnest, but it wasn't like a type of thing that like blew me away. It was just like, yeah, I've seen this story before.
Well, I'd say the one element that sticks out, like, beyond the cliches is probably Benny's character, and the
Uh-huh.
fact that they, like, round it out, like, it's kind of like one character looking back at their childhood, and then he's a baseball announcer, and Benny's, like he said, he was always gonna go on to bigger and better games, and he does in the end. Like, I think that's what makes this movie maybe a little more memorable, stick out a little bit more, and again, that's why the sequels failed, because 'cause they're just about the kids, and they didn't do as good a job with the kids in the sequels,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like, but
Side note, I don't think the narrator's actor is very good. I think he does not do a very
really?
good job voice acting. Yeah, there's so many moments
I
where
think
his delivery bugged me. I was like, okay.
what about it specific if you I
And when the movie started, it almost sounded like AI. I was like, okay, why is he talking like that? And then as the movie went on, it was just like he was putting on an inflection that felt so artificial and not like it didn't feel
definitely,
like a
like, has,
person
like, a
talking.
spin to it, like, we
Yeah,
still had no idea what the hell we were gonna do, so things started primitively, like, he's
yeah.
got, like, a yeah,
Which, to be fair, might just be a me thing of being like bugged by it because it's like maybe part of the charm. But I was just like, not a fan. Um, yeah.
I
But I
get
don't
it.
know. It's like it's a fine movie. I was just kind of confused why you suggested it because I was just like, yeah, that's a movie. Probably never gonna watch it again. I don't know.
I mean, it's a good question, honestly. Like I said, I think Benny is what makes the movie
Uh
work.
huh.
Like, I love the ending, and I love also, like, the everyone, like, kinda moving away, and
I did like that
the
aspect
sense
as
that
well, and that it wasn't like treated as this like end of the world thing of like people moving away.
no,
It's just
they
like it's part of childhood. You make friends, they move away, and
when they
part of
make a
life.
point of saying that, like, they didn't replace them on the team, like, they just kept playing like he was still there, and
Yeah.
I love that note that it's just, game just keeps going, and it's I don't know, there's a little something in it that
Mm-hmm.
'cause like you said, the what they get up to isn't particularly original, the beats of the story aren't, but there's a little something, there's a little bit of a charm to it that I think
Yeah.
works just so well, and Benny's character, I
Definitely a
think, is what
charming
stands
movie.
out the most.
Yeah. Benny for sure, best aspect of the movie.
Well,
Well.
um,
Oh, is this gonna be like the shortest discussion we've had yet?
potentially, I'm not sure what else to bring up because I could talk about, like, some of the kids. I think honestly, they make them all stand out. All of them kinda have a little something they bring, like,
Hmm.
Bertrand has, like, the tobacco, like,
The chewing
Ham's,
tobacco
like,
scene
the
was so fucking
oh my
funny. I
god.
was like, what? Why do you have
See
chewing tobacco? And then they fucking throw up, and
yeah,
they were all like dirty. I was like, okay,
some of them are probably, like, eating it, like, doing it wrong, and it's like,
yeah.
"Oh my god," it's in the song Tequila, like, I love the soundtrack to this movie, by
Oh
the way,
yeah, the
like, they some
soundtrack,
memorable music.
both the OST and the licensed music, very good.
Well,
Um.
it's funny, the guy who did the OST is, David Newman, he's the same guy who did the music to The Brave Little Toaster, actually,
Oh really?
yeah, he's done a decent bit. I like it sounds unique, like, you'd have to see it, but, like, it's almost like motifs, it's little,
Uh
like,
huh.
themes of specific characters, and it sounds so 50s and 60s.
Yeah, I kind of love it in the sense of like the same way I love the Community soundtrack, where it's so bombastic and orchestral at some points, and like so, like it pulls you into the story, even though what's
Yeah,
happening is absurd and like not that high stakes, because you're like invested as the kids are invested, but obviously the circumstances in universe are that it's
well
not that serious. So I kind of love that.
like exactly, I love music that's I keep using the word bold, like, I want bold music in stories, and, like, I a perfect example of what you were talking about is when Scotty's about to, like, climb the fence to, like, get the first home run ball that, like, went into the backyard with the beast, and the music is like, "Dun, dun," it's like,
Oh
"Ba, da,
yeah,
da," like, the beast, like, theme is so, like, oppressive and, like, extra. They did not need to go as intense as they did, but
exactly. Yeah.
I love that they make the music, like, heightened and
Yeah.
it and the same when, like, they're getting successes during like, probably the most memorable music is when they're, making all the contraptions to try to get the ball
Yeah.
back, and there's, like, a bum bum dun 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 dun, like, just
Yeah.
progress theme versus the whole, like, darker beast theme.
Yeah, I really like it. It's something Dan Harmon has mentioned about Community of like the director is taking the story seriously because the characters are taking the story seriously. The same as the soundtrack. It's like super serious and like, oh my god. And but the actual circumstances within the fourth wall are not that serious. So it's just like it brings you into like you find the whole situation ridiculous and funny, but you're invested with the characters. So it's just I like stuff like that where it's just like in universe you kind of acknowledge that it's not that serious, but the movie's taking it seriously, so you do too. Because it's like that's kind of the thing about like movie magic, right? You just kind of get invested into like the silliest like drama just because it's like it's what the characters are going through. If it's important to them, you care about it
Well
if it's done well, which I appreciate a lot.
Well, like you were saying, like I love that you mentioned the heightened reality element, and I love movies like that don't worry too much about like I hate like saying like don't worry about realism, but I'm like, you know what I'm talking about? That
Mhm.
like they're not trying to like just make something that's like super cogent and like coherent. They're just making a fun story with fun scenarios and just like and like you said, you're invested because the kids are invested and they treat the scenario as seriously and as like, high stakes as it
Mhm.
is to them, because that's what matters with a story. Like you should follow and care about what's going on with the characters.
Exactly. Which is just shows how good the characters are, honestly, if they are uh if you can
Yeah.
get like so invested in them. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty decent movie. I think I would recommend. It's not the kind of movie I would watch would like show my child if I had one because I'd be like, eh. But it's a pretty good
It's
movie.
fair enough. Yeah, it's fair enough. I'm willing to admit there's like elements that have not aged well, and like a lot of it's probably coded by nostalgia for me, but it's just movie I grew up with and I love the elements. It's like it's a huge inspiration for me. So
Fair enough.
but
We all have those movies that shaped
glad
our
gl-
childhood.
yeah. Glad you liked elements of it and like, maybe whole package wasn't quite it for
Well, I
you, but
enjoyed it. It's just like I was just like I don't know, expecting more because you said I actually think this movie's really solid. I was like, it's okay, but it's not like anything that took like my breath away. I was like, yeah, it's an okay movie, um, because it's
yeah.
not like
Oh,
like we did with like Happy Death Day or I don't know, like another
yeah,
movie that we
those
thought would be unimpressive and we watched. I was like, damn, that's actually good.
yeah, it's definitely not like a standout, like
Yeah.
surprising, like you were saying, it does have all the cliches. It's just a matter of the execution.
Mm.
One last thing I wanted to mention, you messaged me about it, but like the cast for the like grown-ups is stacked. Like Karen Allen and Dennis Leary as the parents, and then James Earl Jones pops up at the end as Mr.
Yeah.
Myrtle, and that was right before The Lion King. Actually, I think this was '93. So, but this was after Star Wars, and I'm like, he probably only needed to be on set for like a day or two, but it's really cool that they got him, and he he clocks into work even though he's just got the
Yeah.
one scene.
It was a fun scene. He seems like so happy to talk about baseball. It's really cool. And which actually reminded me, I like the idea that um what's his name? Main character.
Scotty?
Skye, yeah. That that his stepdad, like he's not like happy with him and he still grounded him for a week. Even though
Yeah.
he got like the ball, because it's like, yeah, you messed with the stuff that you shouldn't have. It's they didn't like let him off scot free, so I kind of like that.
I did like his characterization too, because they leave it on that note that like they got along after that
Yeah,
and he had no problem calling him dad all the time. And but
yeah.
showing like that they're not on good terms at the beginning, and it's
Hmm.
like kind of working on it is like
Well, it's the
it's
whole
important
thing
to
with
show like
stepdads that you need to build that relationship, and it's kind of weird for a kid to do it, and they do it slowly, and it's like it's awkward, but I like the way they did it.
yeah, it's really well handled, and it helps with the stakes when the ball goes over the fence because
Yeah,
and I do love that as the plot of this movie too. I love that it's just the scenario. Everyone's like throwing a ball over a neighbor's fence. Is like, oh, do we knock on the door? Do we just jump over? I'm like, what if we get in trouble? It's like the most nightmare, like Babe Ruth signed
yeah,
baseball. Like, oh my god, we have to get it back, and the dog will eat us. It's it's a great neighborhood like premise for a story like
yeah.
this.
Which, by the way, that reminded me, the presentation of some of the scenes were really cool. Like the dream scene where they showed Babe
Yeah.
Ruth, like the way he was like black and white and everything. I thought that
I
was really cool.
I don't honestly know how they did that effect. For one, I love that scene with Babe Ruth. Like the dialogue is really good, and I love how he just dismisses the legend like the King of Crash and a bunch of dopey names. Like, forget about that stuff, kid. But
Hmm.
yeah, like it's all like staticky. Like I don't know what that created that effect, but it is
It's
really
really
cool.
cool. Yeah.
And then there's the ghost story in the treehouse that's in black and
I
white,
was
and
gonna
he's
say
got
that
like
scene as
rain
well.
effect.
That scene was
Yeah.
really fun because it's just genuinely, it's like super over dramatized, and I loved like, I forgot what word you say, like just forever,
Forever.
yeah,
Yeah,
ever.
forever.
Like the actors were doing like they were like, it was so funny
They were
opening their
like
mouths so
copying him the repeated like
forever, saying the way he was is great. The actors were just mouthing it. It was really cool. I like that as well. And like the
yeah,
story
maybe
about the fucking beast is so
the chunk
funny.
dog like gets they fed like whole sides of beef and it just becomes this giant
This
creature. It's like
monster.
what the
Yeah.
fuck? Yeah, maybe that's part of it for me is that like is the sense of going for it and the fact
Uh-huh.
that they just like lean into their premises and they like use heightened reality. Like that's something that I think helps. So
Oh yeah. Yeah. Good
all
movie.
right.
I'm on board. I give it a thumbs up.
All right. I'll take it. Okay. So what do you have, Sky? What's next in the chopping block?
Oh, you should already know. We've mentioned this a
I
few
think I
times.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I go on.
No, what are you gonna say?
Not nothing. I got something after the
Okay.
recommendation.
So, folks, there is a movie that I really like. That I made Evan watch back when it came out, and he begrudgingly liked it too. But it's been a while since we both watched it. I thought, hey, it's probably fun to talk about it. It's a movie that most people do not like. But anyway, it is Eternals from the MCU.
The black sheep, the
Yeah.
like no sequels be damned, like every idea that movie traded in. I mean, fuck it. Like I oh, wait, we'll talk about this, I am sure, but I find it so funny that that is what it just didn't work for anybody.
It
It
is
just got like
weird.
middling reviewed, and everyone was like, "Oh my god!" It was like we've hit the lowest. I'm like, really? This this is like worse than like Quantum Mania or like some of the stuff even in like early post Endgame, like Far From Home. I find it funny just how much people just threw it in the garbage can
Mm,
and didn't care about anything because I think the pacing's one of the biggest reasons. It's a lot slower paced
yeah.
than some of the other
It
Marvel
doesn't feel
movies.
like an
I think it's
MCU
a good
movie, and
thing.
that's kind of the issue I think for
Yeah,
most people. But
like I
it is kind of
said,
why I
the
like it
episode
also.
like I said, the episode rankings on IMDb, they get higher for WandaVision when it becomes more slop, and it's like, this is what they fucking want. They
Yeah.
don't want deviations from the norm. They want the red goo versus the purple goo. Like,
The red goo
damn
versus
it.
the purple goo is a great way to describe the finale. Uh,
Yeah, it's I It'd be the first time I've seen. I'm sure you've rewatched Eternals a couple of times, and
Yeah.
I do want to do a macro, like I said, like post Endgame, like the state of the MCU, because I think that
Yeah, I know you
Endgame
have
killed the
opinions about
MCU.
Endgame, yeah.
Yeah, but Eternals, I remember genuinely liking it. Like I said, I've
Mhm.
watched it begrudgingly, and even still, I'm like, I think it is way better than people give it credit
Yeah.
for. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember it being very, very good, but obviously, might not be as good as I remember, but I am pretty certain, I think, that it is at least better than people give it credit for, because I think it trades in like some really interesting ideas, and I think Icarus is like genuinely one of the best MCU villains.
He he is. I don't. He does not get half as much credit. He's one of those like he's just full out like on a mission. It's one of those like impersonal villains things where he doesn't feel he doesn't have the like turns at the screen and like he reveals evil, like takes the mask off. It's just like
Yeah,
no, like I'm doing what I was made to
yeah,
do,
made to do,
literally.
yeah.
I,
There is a very interesting thing to talk about, like purpose in life and religion, and the way that movie talks about that. It's really cool, man. I like that movie. And Druid
yeah.
is like really cool. I love Barry Keegan. We'll get into it. I love that movie. It's been a while since I watched it, but I'm excited to rewatch it.
I am as was that was 2021, wasn't it? That
2021,
was
yeah.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
Man, I still never. Yeah,
It was
my
so funny
family
because I
turned that
was
movie
like,
off. It's
it was like, I remember I was in theaters. I was like, oh man, I hate the MCU. Like, I was in that era where I was hating anything the MCU was doing. And I was watching it. I was like, wait, why is this good? Like, I was like halfway through, like, wait, why am I liking this? Why is this good? And then at the end, I was like, Jesus, I love that. It was so wild. Like, even my brain of like hating the current MCU back then, it was just like, I couldn't hate that movie, but people seem to hate it. You were saying like your family turned it off. I don't get it.
yeah. Well, I think it's just people think it's boring and like slow and they
I,
don't care about the characters. And I'm like, I don't.
it's a
It's
bit of a
it's
character study of like 7, 8 characters, and I'm like, I'm
yeah.
bored. I love all of them.
Well, and there's something to be said for taking it slow in a
Yeah.
story. I like stories that take their time. Hell, the Avengers kind of took its time. It really did. This like action's pretty sparse and like they try to nail down the characters before the
Hmm.
third act, but it's a lost art in the modern MCU.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't know. But
All
yeah.
right, Eternals, like
Eternals, yeah. I'm excited.
prime for a rewatch.
Hell yeah. Haven't seen it in like 3 years, I think. Um, so yeah, folks, thank you for watching. We both recommend Sandlot, though Evan more than me.
Definitely.
Yeah. And we'll catch y'all next week for Eternals. Yeah.
Indeed.
You should rewatch that movie, by the way, in preparation for
Yeah,
our episode. I think it will be fun.
give it a chance, especially if it's been like years of
Yeah.
like I would hope most could agree that that one like at least warrants rewatch because it's at least different. It's
Mm,
not like samey. Like you kind of know what you're getting into with rewatching the MCU. I'm like, give that one a shot.
yeah. There's a lot to chew on. So yeah, we'll catch you next week, folks. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Bye bye.